Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's video, I cannot wait to share with you 6 DIY Dollar Tree French farmhouse chic decor crafts. So this is another episode in my huge I Love Spring series. I love to share with you all how you can make your homes boutique gorgeous on a teeny tiny budget. And if you are new, welcome. I am Olivia with Olivia's Romantic Home. I am a dedicated wife, mama, and crafter and lover of all things inexpensive trash to treasure DIY Dollar Tree projects. So if you love that, definitely consider subscribing. I would love to have you be part of my YouTube community. Without further ado, go ahead and plug in your glue guns, get out your glitter and paint, and let's get to crafting. For the first Dollar Tree DIY, we're going to create a super adorable French country floral garden planter wall hanging. So I'm going to take these 2 garden gates from Dollar Tree and you're going to flip them upside down and then push them up against each other, line them up, and then just take some of that Dollar Tree floral wire, and at the base of each one they'll have little tiny grooves that you can thread the floral wire through, and you want to thread the floral wire through about 5 to 6 times along the base of the garden gate. That way you can have your garden gate be nice and sturdy. You don't want anything flopping off or flying away. So you can see I'm just taking the little piece of wire, threading it through, then flipping it over and twisting it really well on the back, and then just taking some scissors, or you can also use wire cutters to trim it off. And this is how it should look after you have it all secure on there. And then I just want to take these 2 little cute little garden planters. You find these at Dollar Tree as well, and some white spray paint. Now I spray painted these and then ran out of my spray paint, so I just had to use the backup option, and that was going ahead and chalk painting these. I'm going to tell you, this chalk paint that I used took about 3 to 4 coats. So either have a lot of spray paint on hand or be very patient with your chalk paint. But once I had it all chalk paint, I was ready to roll. So now that I have everything painted, I'm going to go ahead and use this little craft knife and just push holes into the top part of my little planter. Now be careful, the craft tool is a bit sharp, but I'm just going to poke 2 holes on each side, and you're going to want to poke the holes on the top of your planter. And then I just took a bit of sandpaper and I very gently sandpapered the front part of my little garden planter. I wanted the little French saying to show through, and I think I'm just now realizing that one of mine is a French saying and one of them is in English. How funny and cool is that? I don't think I've ever found the English version. Usually I always pick up the French version. So anyway, Dollar Tree is always blowing my mind, you guys. I'm taking some black craft paint and I want to make this appear to be kind of a vintage enamelware tin. So I'm just using a little craft sponge, which has definitely seen better days, and I'm running just a tiny dab of black paint around the base and the top, and then I even used just an itty tiny bit on the front of this. Now it's always best to use a little bit less paint, and you can always go back in for more. But have fun with this. Paint it whatever color suits your fancy. I'm going to add a generous amount of hot glue to the bottom and use some of that Dollar Tree styrofoam. I want to create a really beautiful spring floral arrangement. It is so time for spring dreaming in my home. I'm going to take some of the Dollar Tree onion grass, and I did clip it apart, and then I began to add some really beautiful little Dollar Tree lilacs. I also had some Walmart lavender left over from last season. I've heard rumor that the Dollar Tree lavender isn't super great this year. My girl at CHIC on the Cheap, Sarah Jane, said definitely check Walmart for your lavender. So if you're a shabby chic French farmhouse girl or just love to decorate with some pretty lavender, definitely check on that. I did go ahead and add some pretty white flowers to the top of this. Again, just making it a fun spring floral. Use whatever colors and florals suit your fancy. Now I'm just going in with some of that Dollar Tree Excelsior grass. I kind of want to poke that in and around the little spots that I didn't get quite enough florals in. You could also use any of the little Dollar Tree greenery or moss. And then I'm going to go ahead and attach them to my garden gate. So I'm just going to take this Dollar Tree floral wire and I'm going to cut it and then thread the floral wire through the back to create like a little loopy hook. And then you can just go ahead and begin to tie that on to your garden planter. So this turned out so fun and fabulous. So I'm just twisting it on to that center rung. Right here, you can see the center rung, and go ahead and feel free to paint the back of yours, but this is going to be probably hanging on a wall somewhere. And here is how the finished product looked. Okay, so for this video, I just went ahead and stood it up. You can see my little lamp kind of hanging over it. I stood it up and I added a picture frame around it to give it a little bit of security. This would hang very nicely on a wall if you use 2 nails on either side. And I incorporated it into this French farmhouse, French country look. Back by popular demand, the last video I did for you was also a French farmhouse, French country look. And so many of you all requested me to do another French country video. So here it is, back by popular demand. I hope you all are loving it and you get some fun ideas for how to add some of these beautiful kind of French farmhouse techniques or ideas into your home. And then for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm just going to take this little Dollar Tree kitchen sign, which I actually think is really cute. I'm going to keep it, but I wanted to add this little French farmhouse saying. And in fact, if you all are French and you know what this says, definitely comment and let me know. I'm not for sure what it says, but I did get the graphic off of graphicsfairy.com. All you guys have to do is just search French farmhouse and you'll find some really pretty little sayings and sign additions. So I just popped it into this white Dollar Tree frame and I add it into this beautiful little setup here, and I think it's just looking so fun and fabulous. I love this cream and black ticking fabric. I got it from burlapfabric.com, but I've also seen it at Walmart if you all need any French country kind of curtain or fabric or whatnot. So for the next DIY, I'm actually going to upcycle some of these Bath & Body Works candle lids. I'm going to take some of this chalk paint, and again, I used several different coats. I will suggest that I do like the Waverly chalk paint better than this Kilns chalk paint. It seems to have a bit more coverage. So then once I had my little lids chalk painted, I'm going to use some of this Dollar Tree contact paper and I'm just going to trace around the lids. What I want to create is a coaster for my living room. I cannot wait to redecorate for spring, so definitely check back next week for spring decorating. I will have a huge DIY video posting as well on Saturday, but I'm just going to go ahead and trace around the little contact paper. I want it to fit the very top of the lid. I'm just going to add it to the top of the lid. You guys, really the sky is the limit. Originally, I thought I was going to Mod Podge a French graphic onto this, but I spied a little bit of contact paper that I needed to use up. I've been using this pretty much everywhere. I used it in organizing my kitchen and laundry room. I just think it's so pretty. And I love the black and white. I think it's so French country and just so fun and fabulous. So here is how they look. And you can really pop these in anywhere for just a bit of black and white pops or just somewhere nice for you to set your beverage, and it'll be something very pretty and nice to look at, and it'll go along with your little French farmhouse chic country theme. A lot of what you all see in my videos, I have a lot of questions of different things that you all see, and I'm going to tell you pretty much everything is from the thrift store, flea market, or garage sales. So if you're wondering where these extra items are from that we haven't crafted, that's where you're going to find them. The thrift store or garage sale. I'm sorry, that's not much help. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm taking some of those large Easter signs and I'm going to chalk paint the front and back. Again, this did take several coats, so just be patient with yourself. And then once you have those chalk painted, you can go ahead and begin distressing them. I also have to add a side note with these two signs to put them together. I was out of actually popsicle sticks, so I did just use a Dollar Tree love sign that was left over from Valentine's Day. You can just hot glue, add some E6000, and that will keep your two signs together. You could also use popsicle sticks or paint sticks or whatever. So we are going to go ahead and give this kind of an aged look. I went in with starting out with some black paint, and I'm going to share with you guys kind of how I do layers when I go about distressing a project. I start out with the black paint, and then I'm taking some white chalk paint. I'm just going to add a layer over that. You guys can pretty much distress with any colors that you love. I'm going to end up adding another one of the Dollar Tree Easter signs on top of this. I just wanted to give it something fun and fabulous to kind of frame out. So I do want to think about the colors that are already in that sign, which are kind of some grays and some taupes. So now I'm going in with another layer of gray paint and just again layering over. So if you need to add in more darker colors, you can add in more blacks. If you want it to look more white, you can just add another wash of white over it. But just have fun adding in layers of paint to give it that kind of nice distressed barnwood feel or vintage feel. I think this is so fun, and honestly, crafting for me is definitely therapy. So try not to make it perfect, you guys. Just embrace the imperfections in your crafting and continue to go for it. So once I had my baseboards all just distressed and kind of cool looking, I wanted to go back in with the little Dollar Tree Easter sign. I think this is just such a fun way to kind of dress up these signs. And so I'm adding in a layer of E6000 glue, and I'm adding it to the center part of the board as well to kind of keep it held together just a little bit. Remember, it is held together on the back with some extra board, but you know, a little bit, I'm a safety girl, a little bit can't hurt. I did add some hot glue so it would adhere instantly, and then the E6000 glue will help it adhere temporarily. I'm using some buffalo check plaid ribbon I had from my craft stash. You can find that at Hobby Lobby. And then I'm just going to pop this cute little bunny bow into the center. And how fun and fabulous is this? So this is really going to be really nice. I have thoughts on where I want to put this in my home. I want to use this, I think, next to my mantle. I cannot wait to begin my spring decorating inside my home. I have a lot of spring decorating going on in my little crafting studio right now. I've been waiting for Valentine's Day is now over, so I'll be tidying things up, putting all my Valentine's Day away, and then adding in loads of spring touches to my home. But I am just crushing on this springtime French farmhouse, French country, French chic little look. I added in some shabby chic and so fun. So for the next DIY, I want to share with you guys how to make kind of a floppy, scrappy bow. I'm going to make just a lantern bow. So I'm going to take some of this ribbon. This is just ribbon I have in my stash. It came from burlapfabric.com. And I'm just going to take some of the striped ribbon and then this really neat netting ribbon. I'll leave a link for burlapfabric.com down below for you guys. The coupon code to get $5 off is Olivias Spring. And so I'm just cutting, these are about 14 to 16-inch pieces, but you'll want to cut your ribbon however long your lantern is. My little lantern really isn't that tall. I like to make extra large bows, and I'm going to have to find a taller lantern, but I just really think this one is so cute. And so many of you ask where I found the lantern, and it was at the thrift store. So, but for this bow, you're just going to take and you're going to fold your little ribbons in half. It's super easy, and you're going to hold them in the center with your finger and just begin to continue to fold them in half. What I love about this bow is it really uses up a lot of extra scrap ribbons. So fun, easy, and fabulous. And I love adding all kinds of different textures with the striped ribbon, the buffalo check, the little lace ribbon, and then that netting ribbon. I've also seen kind of the netty ribbon at Hobby Lobby as well. So definitely check that out and don't be afraid to try some new things. And then I'm just twisting this on with some wire. It's just the Dollar Tree floral wire. So you're just going to twist it on to whatever little project you're going for. And then I did go ahead and begin to fluffy out my little loopy bow, scrappy bow. I know there's another name for this bow. I just cannot for the life of me remember it. Julie Samako originated this one over at Southern Charm Wreaths. Go check her out if you love to make wreaths. I definitely adore her. And then I'm just going to add in some greenery. I'm adding dabs of hot glue to the base of my greenery, and then I'm going to pop it in underneath the bow. So it's more gluing to the bow and really not so much the lantern. You could also twist it on with floral wire, but I find this method seems to be just fine. And just continue to add in whatever springtime colors that you're decorating with and whatever suits your fancy. I just feel like springtime greenery is so nice to use. And recently I've also been crushing on some pops of purple. I think that's so fun and fabulous for spring, just to add in the lilacs and the lavender. And I think it gives it also a very French farmhouse, French country feel. So here is how the finished product looked with this little lantern bow. Oh my goodness. And then I have a little Dollar Tree candle popped into there, trying to give my bow just a little bit extra fluffing. So definitely let me know what colors do you guys use for spring. I know a lot of people use greenery. Are you using pinks, pastels yet? I'm definitely going to go in for my home with a lot of whites, and then add some touches of grays, blacks and whites, and then add in my pops of color. As Easter draws near, I'm definitely going to be going for pastels. I love pastels, but definitely the French country farmhouse look is speaking to me so much. So for the next DIY, I'm going to share with you guys another sign repaint. So again, this is the Dollar Tree Easter signs. I love them because they're so large, and so they make really great base projects if you like to craft. And then again, I'm just going in with this extra bit of a love sign. You can add popsicle sticks, add some hot glue in E6000, and it will hold these signs together just perfectly. So once I have my little signs put together, I'm adding just a tiny bit of black paint around the edges. I'm not going to distress this one quite as much as I did the last one. The last one, I wanted the bunny sign more to blend in. This one, I want to be more of just a backdrop for the Happy Easter sign. So I'm going to use a Happy Easter. It's in the crafting section, and it is going to be just a plain base of a sign. So something a little bit more subdued and fun without quite all of the funsy colors. I think that's a fun way to mix in, is to use some of the funsy Dollar Tree signs, and then for a little bit more of a classy look, you can use some of the more plain signs, and then just go in, and I'm going to use a little bit of white chalk paint mixed in with some black to make just a really pretty French gray. And then I'm just going to apply this with my little sponge. You could also use a paintbrush. Again, this Happy Easter sign is from Dollar Tree. It's in the craft section, the Easter crafts, and use whatever color suits your fancy. You could use pink or greens or yellow, or whatever color is speaking to you for your home decor right now. I had a lot of fun with this project. I love these French grays. My mom is really into French grays, so I definitely think she has a lot of influence on some of these French touches that I put into my home. So again, I'm just adding in some E6000. That is going to adhere to my sign really well for a permanent hold, and then the hot glue will adhere to my sign for the long-term hold. It's a really nice mixture, and you can layer them on top of each other or just kind of next to each other is what I do. So once you have all that on there, you can just pop it on to your sign. I don't know if you guys notice, but all of the crafts that I create, I'm pretty much crafting backwards and upside down. So sometimes I notice that my signs can be a little off center. If you really have to have it centered though, you may want to measure on either side and try not to craft backward and upside down. So here it is in with this French country farmhouse theme. Oh my goodness, I am so crushing on this. As always, I ask that you all comment and let me know, what is your favorite project in this DIY? And all of your requests have been heard for more of the French country, French farmhouse, shabby chic mixture of a theme. I think you guys can really take all of these elements and mix them in so well. I think you can add touches of romance with laces and scrolly designs, and then you can add touches of farmhouse with some of your metals and your grays and your distressed look, and then the French country with some of your browns and the distressed and the French themes. So just however you all like to combine those, I really think that they all kind of transfer together. But oh my goodness, I'm just so excited to be sharing this with you. Definitely go check out also the rest of the videos in this I Love Spring series. You guys are going to be blown away how we're taking Dollar Tree projects or Dollar Tree items and just making them a little bit more classy and fantastic and fabulous. Boutique gorgeous on a budget. And I so love y'all. Thank you for being here. So thank you all so much for joining me on another fun and fabulous crafty decor adventure. If you are new, welcome. I'm Olivia with Olivia's Romantic Home. I am a dedicated wife, mama, crafter, and lover of turning inexpensive items into fabulous home decor. And for everybody that comes back, thank you. I'm hugging your hearts so tight. It is such a blessing and a true honor to have y'all here. You just make my heart sparkle and shine. So thank you for that. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It's totally free. Click the little subscribe button. There's a bell next to it. It will update you every time I upload a new video. I also have an Olivia's Romantic Home Facebook group page. Pop over there, request to join. I'll approve your request, and you can share photos of your home decor and your crafty decor projects with other crafty decor friends. I love it over there. I love seeing what you're up to. You guys are so inspiring. I just want to thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your art and your heart with me. Also, I have Olivia's Romantic Home Instagram page. Tag me over there and I'll feature you on my story. I love seeing what you guys are up to. I share also behind the scenes of my little crazy crafty mama life, as well as a good morning coffee with you all every morning and condensed DIY videos. So I love you all to the moon and back. I just want to encourage you all to keep going. I think crafting and decorating is so good for your heart and soul. So just keep up the good work, crafting and decorating and tidying your homes. You can do it, even if it's not perfect, no matter where you're at with your journey. Keep going. I love you all to the moon and back. Remember, be kind to yourselves and be kind to one another. Until the next video, we will talk to you later.
You're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say